If you are a complete beginner, you may get overwhelmed while approaching this system of yoga known as Tantra. It may seem a bit too difficult for a complete beginner, which is why I have made this video which shows an online session which is suitable for a level 1 beginner, that is a complete beginner, so that you know how to approach this system of yoga without any difficulty, and you're able to sit in both the lotus pose and the diamond pose, which is the foundation of Tantra Yoga. But now, if you observe the diamond pose that I have demonstrated over here, it is not the conventional traditional diamond pose that is taught by other schools of yoga, but this is the tantric version of the diamond pose. That means this is the diamond pose of the school of Tantra Yoga. And the reason why we are supposed to sit in this posture is pretty obvious. As you can see, the traditional diamond pose is actually pretty ineffective in the sense that it doesn't really change anything in the body. It doesn't improve the structure of the body, and it doesn't enhance the health of the body as compared to the tantric version of the diamond pose, which, if you observe, completely simulates the bipedal human anatomy of erect spine and cylindrical foot structure with the big toes clubbed with the other toes, which allows us to walk on two legs. This tantric Vajrasana perfectly simulates that, because if you see our closest relatives, the great apes, have opposable thumbs in their legs too, but the opposable thumbs of our legs, the legs of human beings, is clubbed with the other toes, and that is what allows us to walk on two legs. And this tantric Vajrasana not only simulates that anatomical transformation, that evolutionary transformation, but it also helps in enhancing that structure, that basic bipedal evolutionary structure of the human body. So I have already spoken about the significance and the benefits of this tantric Vajrasana. I have already made a video on that. The video link is displayed above. You can click on that and check out that video. In that video, I have clearly spoken about why every human being should sit in this posture. Even though this may seem too challenging and it might discourage newcomers or beginners to even try or think of practicing this posture, but the benefits of this posture are too many for anyone to miss out on this, and hence I've made that video specifically targeting specifically speaking about this posture. And also, like, if I have to summarize the benefits and significance of this posture, so I could say that apart from representing the human evolutionary transformation, this pose also tremendously improves blood circulation to the hips and waist. So by doing that, it corrects the problem of visceral fat, because mainly accumulation of visceral fat happens because of poor blood circulation in the hips and waist, and it corrects that problem, and thus it also avoids or prevents and also corrects problems like the metabolic syndrome, which is the main cause or the main condition which causes most of the chronic psychosomatic diseases. So for all male practitioners of this system of yoga, it is essential that you wear the Indian loincloth or the langot before practicing this system of yoga. At least while practicing, you should wear the Indian loincloth, and I have made videos about the significance and benefits of the Indian loincloth. You can have a look at those videos. The link is displayed above. Apart from helping in the development of aesthetic abs by the reduction of visceral fat and by the strengthening of the torso muscles, This system of yoga also makes the abs functional and flexible enough to facilitate abdominal breathing, and that too naturally all the time. Now, abdominal breathing is the natural way of breathing that should be practiced whenever you're doing most of the practices. So, that is the first thing that we look at. Abdominal breathing is basically whenever you breathe in, you should allow the belly to expand or balloon up, and whenever you breathe out, the belly is supposed to go back and contract. That is what the breathing pattern should be like. Breathing in should make the abdominal wall balloon up, and the breathing out should make it go back. And that is something that we do every time we do most of the yoga practices. Abdominal breathing is what everyone should be practicing. So let us start with the actual practices. So there's 2 fingers distance between the 2 feet. Feet are parallel to each other. And we start with the first stretch, which is the Tadasana stretch, palm tree pose. In the palm tree pose, we basically raise the heels up, 2 fingers distance, feet are parallel to each other. As we breathe in, we raise the heels up, raise the hands up simultaneously. Yes, breathe in, raise the heels up, raise the hands up, stretch up. Make sure that the arms are by the side of the head. Both the arms should touch the side of the head. Okay. Remember abdominal breathing. So you're maintaining the posture with proper abdominal breathing. That means you let the belly expand nicely when you breathe in, and you let the belly go back when you breathe out. Keep the gaze fixed on one point in front of you. Try to touch the side of the head with the arms and the shoulders. Keep the head between the 2 arms. If you keep the gaze fixed on one point in front of you, you'll be able to balance. Let's try to raise the heels as high as possible. Then slowly relax. Bring the body down. Relax the legs for some time. We go for the second round. Try to raise the heels a bit more. Try to keep the arms straight above, such that the ears should get touched by the arms. The arms should touch the ears. The back is straight. Raise the heels higher. Stretch the spine more. Keep stretching, keep increasing the intensity of the stretch throughout the posture. Try to keep the gaze fixed on one point in front of you. Keep breathing normally, normal abdominal breathing. You'll be able to balance if you keep the eyes focused on one point. Try to keep the heels up and then slowly bring it down. Relax.
If you are a beginner with a very low level of fitness, then you can practice this Tadasana posture by taking support of the wall, by either resting your back against the wall, or you can even rest your raised heels against the wall. Now, as your ankles and calf muscles and legs become stronger and stronger, you can slowly stop taking the support of the wall by slowly moving the ankles away from the wall.
One last round will do. We do one last round, which is the 4th round. 4th round, the same thing. Slowly breathe in, raise the heels up, raise the hands up, stretch the spine up maximum. Arms are touching the ears, the shoulders are touching the ears. Keep stretching up. Keep raising the heels higher. Do normal abdominal breathing. Keep your eyes fixed on one point. And slowly breathe out. Hands come down. Okay? Try to increase the duration of maintaining the posture. So the trick is to keep the eyes fixed, keep the head straight, keep the head steady, and the eyes focused on one point, and then you'll be able to balance. And you'll be able to raise the heels higher. So this was the first warm up. We'll do the second warm up now, the lateral stretching of the arms. So we keep the heels down now. The feet position is the same, 2 fingers distance. Feet are parallel to each other, and both the hands are at the level of the shoulders. Stretch both the hands sideways. Fingers stretched in all the directions. Palms are in front, palms facing front, and fingers stretched in all the directions. Stretch, go on stretching the arms sideways. Eyes are closed, and again you maintain this with normal abdominal breathing. Make sure that you're stretching both the arms equally in both the directions, as though someone is holding the arms and pulling them in both the directions. Head is straight, eyes closed, abdominal breathing. Keep stretching, keep increasing the intensity of the stretch till you can no longer bear the strain in the shoulders. And then relax. Let the blood flow to the fingers. We'll go for the second round of this. Again, hands at the level of the shoulders, palms facing in front. Stretch the arms, stretch the fingers. Head is straight, eyes are closed. Keeping the eyes closed, focus on abdominal breathing. Let the belly relax and expand when you breathe in. Let it contract, let it go back when you breathe out. Keep stretching the arms, keep increasing the intensity of the stretch. And both the arms should be stretched equally. If you are right-handed, there is a tendency to stretch the right hand a little bit more, but that should not happen. It should be proper symmetrical stretching. Both the arms are stretched equally, then you can relax. Let the blood flow back to the fingers. We'll go for the third round of this. Third round, arms at the level of the shoulders. Head straight. Stretch the hands as much as you can. Stretch the fingers. Eyes closed. Normal abdominal breathing. Try to keep the hands at the level of the shoulders. It should not go down like, okay, and then relax. If you can't keep it up, then just relax. Let the blood flow to the fingers. Next, we'll be doing the chair posture. We'll do the first variation again. First variation of the chair posture. Place 2 fingers distance between the 2 feet. The feet are parallel to each other. Inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale, fold the knees and go down. Make sure that you maintain this position with normal abdominal breathing, which means as you breathe in, the belly should swell up, and as you breathe out, the belly caves in. Let us look at this from another angle. As you go down, make sure that the thighs are parallel to the floor. The knees should be either behind the toes or in line with the toes, but the knees should not cross the toes. Ensure that the spine is erect. You're forming a chair with your body. That's the reason why it's called the chair pose. Initially, you may not be able to keep the thighs as parallel as I am keeping them. So you can keep them slightly slanting if you are a beginner. But do not compromise with the position of the spine. Try to keep the spine as erect as possible. Try to put more weight on the heels. Feet are parallel to each other. Okay. We slowly breathe in. Breathe in and we raise the hands up till the level of the shoulders. You raise it from the front like this. Then you breathe out. Keep the palms parallel. Keep the arms parallel to the floor. Keep the back straight. As you breathe out, just fold the knees. Keeping the arms in that same position. Fold the knees. Try to make the thighs parallel to the floor. Shift the weight on the heels as much as possible. Now maintain this for 30 seconds with normal abdominal breathing. Always focus on the breathing. Make sure that the knees are behind the toes. Yes. Try to put as much weight as possible on the heels. Try to keep the arms parallel to the floor. And try to push the weight as much as possible on the heels. If possible, try to make the thighs more and more parallel. Okay, relax. Relax. Relax the legs for some time. Next, we'll be doing the second round. Same thing. Try to keep the head straight. Neck is straight. Arms at the level of the shoulders. Palms are parallel to the floor. Fold the knees as you breathe out. Same, you can stand sideways like this, but feet position remains the same. 2 fingers distance between 2 feet. Feet are parallel to each other. Now as we breathe in, the hands should be raised in front. Both the hands should be parallel to the floor. Okay, and as we breathe out, we fold the knees and we try to go down as much as possible. We try to put maximum weight on the heels and we fold the knees. We try to fold the knees without crossing the toes. That means that it should never cross the toes like this. The knees should be behind the toes. Make sure that the knees are pushed behind the toes. Yes. Keep the back straight. Keep the hands parallel to the floor. Now do abdominal breathing. Okay. Maintain the position. When we're doing this posture, just have a look. When we're doing this posture, we don't bend in front like this. Okay. We try to put maximum weight on the heels by straightening the waist. Keep the waist straight. We put maximum weight on the heels. Okay. Like this. It's like imagine there is an invisible chair over here and you're trying to sit in the invisible chair like this. The back should be straight. Do not lean in front like this. Okay. So we do the opposite, the complement of this. Now next will be dorsal stretch. We'll be putting more weight on the toes. Again, try to pay attention to the small details when we do the posture. We are putting more weight on the toes now. The hips are slightly shifted in front. Slowly as we breathe in, we raise the hands up. We take the hands all the way up till they reach the side of the head. The arms reach the side of the head. Then the head and the arms will go back together. There will be an arch in the back. Okay, there's an arch in the back. You maintain that arch. And then you breathe out by bending at the hip joint. Keep the back straight. Bring the head and the arms down together. Then in the final position, you're doing normal abdominal breathing. Allow the body to stretch down with every exhalation. Try to keep the knees straight. Don't fold the knees. If the knees, it is not important to touch the floor with the fingers. What is important is that you should get that nice dorsal stretch, that nice stretch right from the back of the legs. Back of the shin should feel a nice stretch. The calf muscles, the hamstring, the back of the knee. The dorsal stretch. Feet position is the same. More weight on the toes. Stretch karo, body ko. Stretch. Put more weight on the toes. Breathe in, hands go all the way up. Head and arms are touching each other. Head and arms go back slightly. Then keeping the hips shifted in front, you bend at the hip joint and breathe out. Stretch down. The head should be relaxed between the two arms. Knees should be straight. And try to maintain with normal abdominal breathing. With every exhalation, try to stretch further down. When you have bent the hip joint, you have shifted the weight on the toes, you have shifted the hips in front. In the final position, just relax the upper body. Like this. With every exhalation, you're doing normal breathing. And with every exhalation, just let the torso come down nicely. Every exhalation, elbows start getting folded. And you allow the body to stretch down. Just like you don't have to keep the arms stiff, you don't have to keep it tight. Just let go of the muscles. Just relax. Okay. Let the shoulders relax. Let it hang loose. The neck and the head will be relaxed between the two arms. And then you slowly breathe in and straighten the waist. Next, we'll do the second variation of the chair posture. The only difference over here is that the hands will go all the way up. The palms will be facing each other. The hands go all the way up. The arms touching the side of the head. And then everything else remains the same. You're again putting weight on the heels. So we breathe in, hands go all the way up. Arms touching the side of the head. And breathe out. Fold the knees. Make the thighs parallel to the floor. Abdominal breathing. Push the knees behind the toes. Maintain for 30 seconds with abdominal breathing. Relax. Relax the legs for some time. Between two rounds, for the strengthening poses, you can relax for some time. We'll stretch again, but this time we maintain the stretch while holding the breath out and by doing something known as stomach vacuum. Stomach vacuum is pulling the stomach in, basically breathe out completely and then pull the stomach in for 8 seconds and then breathe in straight. Everything else remains the same. The whole technique remains the same. You breathe in, take the hands all the way up and behind. Stretch back slightly. As you breathe out, put more weight on the toes. Shift the weight on the toes. Shift the hips in front. Stretch down as much as you can. Breathe out completely. Hold the breath out in that final position. Relax the arms. Relax the head. Just hold for 8 seconds. And then relax the stomach. Breathe in straight. Did you notice? You breathe out completely, hold the breath out, and you pull the stomach in. Then relax the stomach, and then breathe in straight. So you're holding the breath with the stomach vacuum. You're pulling the stomach in nicely. Okay. We'll go for the second round of this. The same thing we are doing. The same stretch. Only thing is, when we stretch down like this, we breathe out completely. We hold the breath out and we pull the stomach in like this. Hold the breath out. Did you notice? You breathe out completely, hold the breath out, and you pull the stomach in. Then relax the stomach and then breathe in straight. So we start with the first sitting posture, which is called Vajrasana. So what we did in the standing postures, we were putting weight on the toes, we were putting weight on the heels, okay? So now we are going to put the weight on the ankles and the toe joints. Okay, that will strengthen all the muscles of the feet and the ankles and the legs. So how do we do that? We keep the knees together, we keep the thighs together, the feet is perpendicular, it's vertical, and we fold the toes downwards. You can use a cushion. Okay, initially if it's hurting too much, you can always use a cushion below the toes, and you're supposed to fold the toes downwards, not upwards but downwards like this. Okay, keep the heels together, keep the knees down on the floor. First place the knees down, keep both the knees together, thighs together, place it down, and then you place the back of the toes or the toenails on the floor like this. Keep the heels together. Okay, you do this first. Okay, the toenails are touching the floor. Okay, everyone, try to sit on the heels. No, the ankles should not touch. That is the thing. Yeah, the ankles should not touch. Maintain that position. See if you can place the hands on the thighs. Everyone, hands on the thighs. Very good. Back is straight. Head is straight. Abdominal breathing. Try to maintain the position. Let the heels press the perineum portion. Okay. What is the perineum portion? The perineum portion is the portion between the anal outlet and the genitals. That portion should press against the heels. Okay. And you maintain for some time with abdominal breathing and properly sit on the heels. Cool. Very good. Just maintain. Keep the eyes closed. Do abdominal breathing. See if you can maintain the posture for some time. Okay. It's very good. Just maintain the posture. Okay. Relax. Straighten the legs. Straighten the legs. Everyone. Straighten the legs. And just move the toes a bit. Let the blood flow to the toes. Just move the toes a bit. Let the blood flow. Initially, because if the weight is too high, it can be a bit painful. Once the body becomes lighter and lighter, you'll feel good in this. This is one of the meditation postures. You'll actually feel good in this posture once the body becomes lighter. Okay, but initially there is a little bit of pain, so you can place a cushion below the toes. Straighten the legs, relax. We keep both the legs together. Okay, the back should be straight. We'll do something known as Vajrasana, but we'll start with the stretches first. Now just try to relax the legs, okay? We were tightening and strengthening the legs in all the previous postures. Now we do the exact opposite of that. We try to relax all the muscles of the legs. So the thighs are together. We lean on the left side. Okay, lean towards the left side. Fold the right leg and make sure that the side of the foot, the side of the big toe is touching the floor. The side of the big toe, okay? This portion of the big toe should touch the floor. That's right. So like imagine, why are we doing this? Monkeys have a thumb in the feet also, but human beings, we are human beings. Our feet is different in the sense that we have a thumb in the hands, but the thumb of our legs is clubbed with the other toes, right? That is how the natural shape of our feet is. We have a thumb in the hand, but the thumb of the feet is clubbed with the toes, whereas the monkeys have a thumb in the feet also. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to club that big toe with the other toes, because that is the natural shape of the human feet. Okay, evolution has given us this feet because so that we can walk on two legs. Otherwise, we would be hanging on the trees too, right? We are able to walk on two legs because of this shape. Okay, so we are trying to simulate that shape. We're trying to enhance that shape. Okay, so the big toe should press against the other toes like this. The thighs should be together. Okay, and we try to bring the elbow down to the floor like this. Can we do that? Keep the back straight. The thighs are separate right now, so keep it together like this. The thighs should be together. Yes. Now the side of the big toe should press against the floor. We are placing the palm on the floor in front of the foot like this. Okay, that's right. And now we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we crawl with the fingers and try to get the elbow down on the floor like this. Every time you exhale, try to stretch down towards that right leg and try to get the elbow down on the floor, but in front of the foot. The elbow should touch the floor in front of the foot and not behind the foot. Okay, like this it should touch in front of the foot. Okay, so that will take some time, will take some practice. Okay, as and when the body becomes more flexible, it becomes stronger, you'll be able to bring the elbow down to the floor. With every exhalation, the elbow will come down to the floor. That's right. Now the leg which is straight, do not let it slant like this. It should be vertical. Okay. Now fold that leg vertically like this. The leg which is straight, fold it vertically. That's right. And now you take support of the outside of that knee using your elbow or your forearm like this, and then use that support to stretch more towards the folded right leg like this. The elbow is coming closer. We try to stretch with every exhalation. We try to stretch. You feel a nice compression over here, okay? The side of the waist, you're feeling a nice compression over here, okay? We do the same thing on the other side. We'll straighten this leg. Do the same thing on the other side. Other leg folded. The rules remain the same, okay? The thighs should be together. The knees together. The side of the big toe should touch the floor. If you see, the side of my big toe is touching the floor. It's not twisted behind like this. The side of the big toe is properly flat on the floor. Okay. So this is done. Now both the legs are done. We'll straighten the legs. Straighten both the legs. You can sit sideways the way I'm sitting. Okay. First thing that we do is we stretch the ankles and the toes towards the floor. Every time we do this, you should always do this stretch. Initially, when the body is not used to Vajrasana, this posture is called Vajrasana. Because it's not used to Vajrasana, you should stretch the knee joint like this. We stretch the ankles and the toes towards the floor like this. Do this. The hands are behind. Okay, stretch the ankles and the toes towards the floor. Cool. And then stretch the ankles and toes towards you. Stretch the ankles and toes towards the floor. Like this. Stretch the ankles and toes towards the floor. Yes. Keep stretching. Keep the knees straight. And again, stretch the toes and ankles towards you as much as possible, keeping the knees straight. Okay. Now keep the ankles and toes stretched towards you. Keep it stretched towards you as much as possible. Keep it stretched. Keep pulling the toes towards you. Don't let go of that stretch. Keep pulling the toes towards you. Keep it in that position. Now stretch the hands up, breathing in. Stretch the hands up, both the hands up. Both the hands stretched up. Yeah, breathe in. Now as you breathe out, try to hold the soles of the feet. Like this. Stretch down as you breathe out. Try to hold the soles of the feet. Pull the toes towards you. Keep the knees straight. Keep the knees straight. Pull the toes towards you as much as possible. You try to sit in the posture. How do we sit in the posture? The same thing. Keep both the knees down. Both the knees are down. Both the thighs are together. Both the knees are down, both the thighs are together. And we turn the foot out like this. The big toes turned out. Make sure that the big toes are touching the floor. Okay, the big toes, the side of the big toe touching the floor. Place the fingers behind like this. Can you sit? It will happen with practice. You relax now. Straighten the legs. Straighten the legs. We'll do the opposite twisting. So this was twisting the ankles and the knees outwards. Okay. So now we twist the ankles and the knees inwards so that the knee joints, the hip joints, they remain flexible and healthy throughout. Okay. So how do we do that? We keep the legs together. We can first do a very simple inward twist. We bring the heels together, bring the feet together like this. Okay. Press both the feet against each other. Okay. Try to make sure that the back is straight. So initially there is a tendency to hunch like this, right? Bending the back. But try to place the hands behind. Try to straighten the back. Try to place the perineum, the front of the buttocks. The front of the buttocks on the floor. The back should be straight. Okay. Now once the back is straight, now pull the heels closer, keeping the back straight. Okay. Now with the back straight, we hold the feet together. We press the feet together and we try to bring the knees down to the floor like this. We flap the knees. Try to bring the knees down to the floor. So we interlock the fingers and hold the feet together. We press the feet together like this. We pull the heels close to the body. Okay. Now keep the back straight and just try to get the elbows and the forearms down to the floor. Just try to get the elbows and the forearms down to the floor like this. Okay. First the right leg. Yes. Then the left leg. Left leg goes up. Try to push it up. Yes. Okay, cool. That's good enough. Cool. Okay, so it will take some time. With practice, it will happen. Okay. So we have like twisted the knee. Okay, inwards, outwards. So we again restore the original function of the knee joint, which is to bear the weight of the body. So we stand up, and we'll raise the heels up. To avoid any injury, we raise the hands up. We raise the heels up maximum. Stretch the hands up. Stretch the heels. This is hands up. Raise the heels up as much as possible. Try to raise the toes also up. And try to walk on the balls of the feet. And then 2 to 3 rounds on the heels of the feet. So raise the toes up. And walk on the heels also. Like this. So on the heels also. So this will completely restore the original position of the knee joint. The original function of the knee joint, which is to bear the weight of the body. So there will be no injury. Okay, once this is done, we'll end the session. So like I said, this was a sample online session. So yeah, I have started online classes, and if you're interested, you can just comment in the comment section below and just let me know, and I'll get back to you. I have started a few online batches. That's Indian Standard Time 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. and Indian Standard Time 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. If I get enough students, I'll obviously make more batches. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if anyone is interested in online classes, and then I can conduct the same for you. Thanks.